Alright everybody, today we're looking back at a piece of true Americana classic motion picture schlock history. People on Rotten Tomatoes give it a really bad score, and the critics of the day hated it. Well, let me tell you what I think about that. Alright everybody, today we're looking back at 1977's The Car. Oh my god, I used to love this motion picture. But before we go any further, you know the routine to the trailer.
Evil has visited the earth in many forms. Now it returns as the Car.
There was no driver in the car.
The car possessed.
I know why he didn't go into the cemetery. The ground was hallowed.
Who knows what it wants? They all know nothing can stop the car.
This is Wade! We can't let him through no matter what! Stay in close! You have to stop!
There's nowhere to turn,
The car, he's in here!
nowhere to hide, no way to stop the car.
I think I hear the engine of that car. It's around here somewhere. Wait, I'm scared. No, I promise you I won't go out. Tell me what to do, baby.
What evil force drives the car?
Alright, this motion picture was directed by Elliot Silverstein. Now, he did not really have that great of a career. I don't know. Maybe some will say this is indicative of that. Maybe some will be shocked. I don't know. But he really didn't do that much stuff. He did this. He did Cat Ballou. He did A Man Called Horse, which is classic. You gotta love that. He did the Twilight Zone TV series, Naked City TV series, Dr. Kildare TV series. He did the Defenders TV series. A lot of TV work. A couple really classic motion pictures, aka this and A Man Called Horse. But that was really about it. Nothing major. There was no, Saving Private Ryan type thing. Did what he did, and he doesn't do it no more. Let's get going to the cast. Okay, playing Wade Parent was James Brolin. Now, come on, man. James Brolin's been in a lot of cool shit. You know what I'm talking, especially back in the day. He was in this, obviously. He was in Westworld. He was in the Amityville Horror. He was in Capricorn 1. He was on Hotel, the TV show. He was on Marcus Welby, MD, the TV series. He was in a movie called Skyjacked, and he was in a movie that was criminally overlooked, which I'm going to be covering someday in the future, and that's a movie called Night at the Juggler. Great little flick that gets criminally overlooked for some reason. Why, I just don't know. But it does, and I'm going to cover it someday. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, playing Lauren was Kathleen Lloyd. Now, she was in a bunch of stuff. She had a very familiar face back in the day. Had a long career, actually. Never really achieved, like, mega star status. She was never, like, the leading lady that you'd be like, oh my god, it's Kathleen Lloyd. But she was around a lot. She was in this. She was in It Lives Again. How can you not love that? She was on Ironsides, the TV show. She was on Kung Fu, The Rookies, Policewoman, The White Shadow, The Incredible Hulk, Hill Street Blues, Cagney and Lacey. She was in a movie called The Missouri Breaks, too. So, good career, long career, been around. She's in here. I used to think she was a cute number back in my day when I was a kid. I thought she was cute as shit. Well, okay, that's a segue. I don't know why I went there. But anyway, let's keep going. Okay, playing Everett was John Marley. As soon as you see his face, you're like, oh, dude, I've seen that dude in a shitload of motion pictures. Obviously, he was in this. He was in The Godfather. He was in The Greatest, Hooper. He was on TV shows, and he was like in The Incredible Hulk. He was in McLeod, Beretta, FBI, Peyton Place, and a TV show which gets criminally overlooked that I used to love as a kid. And it was a TV show called Land of the Giants. I loved Land of the Giants. Maybe I'll cover that someday. Who knows? We'll get there. All right, let's keep going. Playing Amos was R.G. Armstrong. Holy shit, come on, man. This dude's been around forever. I mean, long career. Been on the scene. As soon as you see his face, you know him. He was in this. He was in The Beast Within, Children of the Corn, Lone Wolf McFreed, Predator, Jocks, Steel, Race with the Devil, White Line Fever, Stay Hungry, that movie about D.B. Cooper. He was in a ton of stuff, man. R.G. Armstrong had a long career. And by the way, look up that movie Steel. Just as, not that it was a great movie, but it was like this little flick with like Lee Majors where they all play iron workers and shit. It gets overlooked. People forget the thing even existed. But it was a fun movie, and as a kid, I got to see The $6 Million Man and something other than being $6 Million Man. And he was in a movie too, called The Last Chase, by the way. That was really, I'm talking, never mind, I'm going to keep going. Anyway, whatever. And finally we got Kim Richards playing Lynn. Now, Kim Richards was a child actor. If anybody grew up in the 70s, you remember watching The Wonderful World of Disney and all that kind of stuff. And she was that kid that was in movies like, Escape to Witch Mountain, Return to Witch Mountain, No Deposit, No Return, Devil Dog, The Hound from Hell. But to me, and to probably most of you, what she's always going to be remembered for was the little girl getting popped by the ice cream truck in Assault on Precinct 13. Remember that scene where we all just thought there was oh shit! And we couldn't believe that they put it in a movie and they did that. You're like, it was stunning. Carpenter caught a bunch of flack, but man, it works in that motion picture. It is what it is. So, Kim Richards, long career. She's like acting again after like, I don't know how many years away and shit. She's like on TV again doing things. Who the hell knows? But whatever. Kim Richards in this too. God bless her. Let's get going to the story. Okay, everybody. The story is this. A big, black, devilish-looking car shows up in this little podunk town and just starts killing everybody. That's the story. That's the story. But really, it's this little town in this little desert town, and you have Wade Parent, played by James Brolin, who's a police officer, and he's dating this woman, Lauren, played by Kathleen Lloyd, and she's a school teacher, and she knows his daughter, and blah, blah, blah. And you got R.G. Armstrong, who's like the town bully, always beating on his wife. And it's just an average run-of-the-mill little desert town. And out of nowhere, this big, black, squashed down Lincoln Continental Mark III, I think is what it was back in the day, in 1971 as a matter of fact. And it just starts killing people. It just starts running them over for no apparent reason. Is what it is. Just does it. That's the whole goddamn story of this movie. I could tell you more. I could tell you what happens. I could tell you how it goes. But it's just a car that shows up in this desert town, this little podunk desert town, and just starts killing everybody. And everybody in the town is like a relatable character. You kind of like them all, except for R.G. Armstrong. You kind of get along with them all. You kind of sympathize for them all. They are what they are. They're like everybody you know. Just normal folk. And the car shows up and starts killing people. That's it. The story's not complicated. That's why I like that. I'm going to say that. I'm going to save that for the summary. But that's the story. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I really like this motion picture. Beyond the fact that I grew up on it, you know what I mean? It was always on TV back in the 70s. Like, fairly religiously. You would turn on WSBK out of Boston, or WWR out of New York, or WPIX out of New York, and damn it in hell, the car would be on at least every other day. You know what I mean? It just seemed like that movie was in constant rotation. And the thing that really made me love this motion picture was that there was no backstory to it. They didn't try to explain it or figure it out, or you were left to wonder. Just this car shows up and just starts killing people. It's that simple. Stop explaining shit to people, Hollywood. They don't need that much. It's like Michael Myers in Halloween. Just shows up, starts killing people. Takes out his sister, starts killing people. Same thing here. Car shows up, just starts killing people. You don't need to know why. You don't need to know the motivation. You don't need to care. Just make it so that the people in the motion picture are relatable and likable. And everybody in this motion picture is. Whether it's James Brolin's character, or Kathleen Lloyd's character, or any of them. They all are just a bunch of normal folk in this motion picture. And you're in their world, living in their world, and you say like, well, if something supernatural and weird happens, you buy it. So when this car shows up, driven all by itself, and starts killing people, you're like, wow, that's weird, but Okay, I'm living in this normal world. They presented me this normal world, and now they have a supernatural element to it. Wow, they did that in Halloween a lot too. But anyway, you get the idea where I'm going. And that's why the motion picture works. It's not crazy, it's not a comedy, it's not silly, it's not stupid. It's a normal world with a killer car thrown into it. And for that, you accept it. For good, for bad, for better, for worse, you take it. Now, is this motion picture perfect? No, there's parts of it that are a little bit goofy. And I swear there's one part with the trombone player where I swear to God, it almost looks like he's semi-staring into the camera when he's making this French horn player, should say. And he's almost looking into the camera and reciting a line, but whatever. The acting is good enough in this motion picture. The directing is actually surprisingly pretty good in this motion picture. They set it up in a very monotone way, so the pacing is even. Everything feels cool. You get those point of view shots from inside the car where you're like, is somebody in there? Is nobody in there? You see it through that orange filtered look of the windshield. It's just a cool little straightforward movie. And you see that the car almost has a personality too. It can be angered. It can be enraged. There's times when you're like, it might let somebody live, and then they mouth off to it, and it, oh, I'm gonna go back and get this son of a bitch. And then it goes back and kills somebody. The motion picture is odd and weird, and that it's so simple and so stupid. It would remind you of like movies like, Killdozer and The Hearse and all these other kind of movies where just something comes alive and just starts whacking people. But was this car ever alive? Is this the car from hell? Is the devil driving it? I mean, Jesus Christ, the movie starts out with a quote from Anton LaVey in it, for Christ's sakes. When do you see something like that? So, you have this little quirky flick that takes a very simple premise and makes it work for the hour and a half that it's rolling for, and it's entertaining. I'm not going to give away the ending. I had to watch the ending like 50 times to try to see what the hell everybody else was seeing. You'll know when you get there. But it was fun. It was simple. It was small. It was well done, and it was entertaining. And that's all you want from a motion picture. In all honesty, at least I do. The Car, 1977, simple, fun. It's not super gory. There's no tits all over the place. So it's actually like something that, people could watch in front of their kids or something like that, because it was like scary, but nothing over the top. Not that there's anything wrong with a lot of titties in movies. But I'm just saying, it's just a fun, simple, straightforward movie that I think some people have either forgotten or give it too much shit for. It is what it is. Pop it in late at night, enjoy yourself for an hour and a half, and let it march on. The Car, 1977. Go check it out, enjoy it, have fun. That's what it's meant to be, folks. It's just meant to be fun. Peace, love, and happiness. Catch you later.